Why is Saudi Arabia pouring money into an EV company, a robotaxi network, and quietly battery storage tech, all at the same time? Looked at separately, it's just rich country spreads bets. But line these three moves up on a timeline, and a completely different picture shows up. It gave me chills when I saw it. Today I'm connecting the dots. So why do you need to watch this video? Every week there's a new Lucid headline, Uber invests. New SUV revealed is Saudi money again, and most people consume each one in isolation. Put them on one timeline, though, and you'll start seeing why they all point the same direction. By the end of this video, you'll be able to look at the next Lucid headline and immediately place it. Which piece of the puzzle is this? My name is Moon. I obsess over why money shows up exactly when and where it does. If you're tired of scrolling stock headlines with zero sense of the bigger picture, hit subscribe, and if this helps, drop a like. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They treat Lucid like a car company. Sell more cars, stock goes up. Miss delivery numbers, stock goes down. But here's where it gets interesting. Trace where the money going into Lucid is actually being pointed, and it's not build more cars. It's three very specific directions: robotaxi partnerships, a new mid-size vehicle platform, and a leadership team suddenly stacked with power infrastructure people instead of car people. Let's follow the actual dollars. This April, Uber added another $200 million to its Lucid stake, bringing its total investment to $500 million in 11.5% ownership position, about 37.7 million shares. That's not a passive bet. In the same announcement, Uber committed to buy at least 35,000 Lucid vehicles for its robotaxi fleet, up 75% from its original 20,000 vehicle commitment. Same week, a Saudi PIF affiliate called IR added another $550 million. Combined, that single announcement brought in $1.05 billion. Quick math. 35,000 vehicles, even at a conservative $60,000 average, that's $2.1 billion in locked-in demand. And unlike a normal car sale, a robotaxi fleet doesn't just sell once and disappear. It runs, it wears out, it gets replaced. That's step one of where the money's going, from one-time retail sales to recurring fleet contracts. Now, who's making these calls? New CEO Silvio Napoli isn't a car guy. 30 years running elevator company Schindler. But before Lucid, he sat on the board of Eaton, the power management company. And the new CTO he just hired? Also from Eaton. You might be thinking, maybe that's just his network, not a strategy. Fair, I can't rule that out. But whether it's intentional or not, the fact stands. Lucid's top decision-making layer now has more power infrastructure people than automotive people. And Uber isn't just buying cars either. Reporting suggests Uber now has real influence over the vehicle design itself. So the people actually steering Lucid's future right now are Saudi capital, power infrastructure executives, and a mobility platform. Not a pure car engineering bloodline. Everything from here is my own connect the dots, not a reported fact. No one has announced this. But here's the shape I see. Saudi Arabia is doing two things at once. Moving away from an oil-dependent economy under Vision 2030 and facing an explosion in electricity demand from AI data centers. A company that builds cars, holds strong battery tech, and manufactures right there in Jeddah could, in theory, tie both threads together. My theory, the Petro-to-Electro shift isn't just about selling EVs, it's about extending battery tech into grid-scale energy storage, ESS, then wrapping autonomous mobility and energy infrastructure into one company. If that puzzle actually assembles, Aramco isn't just diversifying, it's positioning to hold a slice of the entire energy value chain, from storage to movement. Again, theory, not fact. But here's why it's not a crazy one. Here's what most people miss. Lucid is now building 4 tiers of vehicle at once: the large gravity SUV and air sedan, the upcoming mid-size Cosmos and Earth, priced around $50,000, a direct shot at the Tesla Model Y, and a 2-seat robotaxi concept called Lunar, built on that same mid-size platform. Think of it like a pyramid. Gravity at the top for brand and margin, Cosmos/Earth in the middle for volume and cash flow, Lunar at the base for recurring robotaxi revenue. Most automakers build these tiers one at a time. Lucid's building all three almost simultaneously, and every tier is designed to plug into Uber's network. So what does Uber actually want? Uber doesn't build cars. It wants the cheapest, most reliable, largest supply of autonomous vehicles it can lock down. Lucid offers battery tech, Saudi-backed cost advantages, and a full lineup that can flex into robotaxi form. For Uber, that's not an investment, that's securing a supply chain. So here's what to actually watch. 1. When Cosmos actually ships, and how it sells if the midsize line flops, this whole puzzle wobbles. 2. When Uber's robotaxi fleet goes fully driverless and commercial, not just testing with safety drivers in San Francisco. 3. Whether Lucid ever makes an official ESS or grid storage announcement. If that happens, my theory becomes news. If it doesn't, it was just a theory. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure this puzzle is real. But here's what I am sure of. People who only react to headlines never see this picture forming. Money always moves before the announcement, in who gets hired, in who owns what stake, in where the capital actually flows. That's what this channel is for, seeing the shape one step before everyone else does. I'll keep tracking this one. Cosmos launch, robotaxi commercialization, all of it. Subscribe so you catch the next piece of this puzzle when it drops. Protect and grow what you've built.